I get it. Genomania is upon us. There is no discussing Smash Brothers without ever seeing or hearing the name Geno. Geno this, Geno that. Geno. I get it. Fans want him. Sakurai too is interested in him, and it's been revealed that the company that owns him is none other than Square Enix. I know we're coming off the heels of that popular Banjo-Kazooie video I made, and no, I didn't make this video in light of it. I see all these YouTubers and I can't help but notice how they don't seem to understand what's at stake when developers discuss third-party characters with Nintendo. The third-party company owns the character, but as I said before, these third parties expect to benefit in return, and not just by Nintendo giving them money, but through publicity. It seems as though people only think that Geo is going to be a Smash Brothers character is because quote, it's what the fans want. It's one thing for fans to vote on a character in a silly little ballot. We all have our hopes and dreams for who we want to see as a playable character. The thing is though, does Square Enix see the value in the character just as the fans do? My sister played Super Mario RPG all the time. I am very familiar with Geno. I don't hate the character and I don't hate the fact that people want him in Smash Brothers. Understandable. People want to see this character fight. Many people want him. He has a large fan base. I'm not saying that he has no chance. I'm not even saying that he isn't unlikely. What I don't get though, is what value, if any, does he have with the people that own him? It all really depends on Square Enix and where their interests lie, though. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but putting the character into Smash Brothers is a big decision, both for Nintendo and the third party, and these third parties all likely have one choice to make and they won't likely ever get another. I'm sure Konami executives went back and forth for days about whether to inquire Nintendo about either Simon Belmont or Bomberman. But going back to Geno and Square Enix, I just do not get what value Geno has to Square Enix to be worth such a big move. He appeared in one game, has the importance of a random RPG party member, and there are various other franchises that Square had that I think they are more interested in promoting than Geno. One name that Square Enix also owns, that never gets talked about, is Lara Croft. I am not a Tomb Raider fan. I only ever played the 2013 Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I have yet to finish both of them. But this was a character that was pop culture in the late 90s and early 2000s, with huge game releases and even a couple of movies. She still is a popular gaming icon, but fans of Smash Brothers seem to quickly dismiss the idea simply because quote, nobody voted for her. But that doesn't even matter, because the only vote that would actually count is Square Enix's. I'm not saying that Square ever considered Lara Croft as a character in Super Smash Bros. To begin with, but if Square didn't want the success that Tomb Raider brings, they never would have bought out Eidos. The purpose of Castlevania characters like Simon and Richard Belmont being in Smash Bros. Is for the game to see more copies than it was originally going to. Anybody that wasn't interested in Smash Bros. Ultimate, but liked Castlevania, can now look forward to Smash Bros. Ultimate because of the Belmonts. And that's why I see Square Enix and Nintendo wanting to take advantage of that with a series like Tomb Raider. It has a following, and with Lara and Smash Bros. They can draw those fans to Smash Bros. Now compare that to Geno. While Geno does have a following, practically all the people who want him in the game have already been and still intend to be Smash Brothers fans. The question is he going to sell copies? Would it really make a difference if he was in the game or not? This is a deal where rights and money would be exchanged, so I feel that Square not blow that opportunity on a character they've never touched in nearly 15 years. Unless Square wants to make another game or a franchise with Geno, you can't really market with him. Besides the fees that Nintendo would pay, what would Square gain? Fans would be happy. I'm sure if you're watching this right now, you don't care what Square hopes to get, but Square likely does. How would making fans happy line Square's pockets in this scenario? Again, that isn't to say that Geno will not happen, but if it does, it wouldn't seem like Square Enix cares about who they choose like other developers would in that situation. Other people say that perhaps if not Geno or Sora, then maybe a Dragon Quest character. I have to say that the character too must be a popular gaming icon so that it helps to draw attention to Smash Brothers. But what do you think? Leave me a lovely comment down below, and do not forget to dislike. Try to get a number to change my mind.